Hello and welcome to this short demonstration of how to create a SQL Azure database. The things we're going to have to do today is create a database on your SQL Azure subscription, and then we're going to create a database on top of that. Okay, so let's start. First thing we need to do is to go to our management portal and then click on database. This is going to show us our subscription and the databases that we have. So right now we don't have any. So what I'm going to do is to click create. First thing it's going to ask me is to select a region for me. I'm going to click Southeast Asia and then next. And then I'm going to give it an admin and password credentials. Now you will see here that SQL Azure is giving me a warning that the logins are either reserved or disallowed for security reasons, because the word admin is, of course, well, a bit too obvious. I'll just put admin 123 there. Then I'm going to give it a password. Repeat the password. And gives you a warning that it doesn't match. There we go. Still don't match. I don't know how to type. How about a shorter one? There we go. Now it matches. Then I'll click next. Now, in creating a server, there's something with SQL Azure that you need to do. You have to specify a firewall rule. A firewall rule is a rule that will enable you to set what or which IP addresses will be allowed to connect to your database or to your server. Now this is one layer of protection, because what you can do is you can select all of the IP addresses in your network that are going to be allowed to connect to your server, and aside from those IP addresses, no other IP addresses are going to be allowed. So I'm going to add all, and as you can see here, it's displaying my IP address, so I'm going to add mine so that only my machine or only my IP address is allowed to access this database. There we go. And then also I'm going to have to click allow other Windows Azure services to access this server. Why? Because I'm going to need other SQL Azure services to access this server. First would be the to manage this database, and then also to hook it up with maybe when I want to use data sync for my backup and everything. And there we go. Now I have a database, and there it is, and I have a master database. So what's the next thing that we need to do? The next thing we need to do with this one is to create a new database, because this master database is going to be used by Azure same way as we have a database for SQL Server. So test and choose a web edition database with a 1 GB file limit, and there we go. Now I have a test database, and I can click manage from here, so I can manage this database. It's going to open up another tab or another browser window, and it's going to ask me for my credentials so that I can manage this database. And there we go. I'll punch in the password, click connect, and it's contacting my server, and it's now going to connect to my SQL Azure database. And there we go. I have 0 tables, 0 views, 0 stored procedures, and we have just created a SQL Azure database.